The silhouette is unmistakable. The protruding stomach, the heavy jowl, the deadpan expression. Alfred Hitchcock was the first director to become a global brand, a man who turned his own image into a symbol of macabre delight. To the public, he was the witty host of their nightmares, a man who invited us into the world of murder and mystery with a dry, British chuckle. No, behind that carefully constructed mask lived a man driven by phobias, obsessions, and a relentless need for control. Hitchcock didn't just direct movies, he directed the pulse of the audience. He knew how to make 1,000 people shiver at the same time, because he spent his entire life shivering himself. To understand Hitchcock's genius, you have to understand his definition of suspense. He famously explained it through the bomb under the table. If a bomb explodes suddenly, you have 15 seconds of surprise. But if the audience sees the bomb and the characters continue to play cards for 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes of agonizing suspense. Hitchcock was the master of the long game. He understood that the greatest fear isn't the monster in the closet. It's the anticipation of the closet door opening. In masterpieces like Rear Window and Vertigo, he turned us into voyeurs, making us feel guilty for watching, yet impossible to look away. But the master of suspense had a shadow side that was often as dark as his films. His obsession with his Hitchcock Blondes, Grace Kelly, Vera Miles, Kim Novak, and most infamously, Tippi Hedren, is the stuff of Hollywood legend and horror. He didn't just want to direct these women, he wanted to reinvent them. He controlled their wardrobes, their diets, and their private lives. During the filming of The Birds, his treatment of Tippi Hedren bordered on the sadistic, forcing her to endure 5 days of having live birds thrown at her face until she suffered a mental breakdown. To Hitchcock, actors were cattle, and he was the rancher who demanded absolute obedience to his vision. This need for control stemmed from his own deep-seated fears. Hitchcock was famously terrified of the police, a phobia born from a childhood incident where his father sent him to the local jail with a note, and the sergeant locked him in a cell for 5 minutes to teach him a lesson. That fear of the wrong man being accused, of the sudden arrival of authority that cannot be reasoned with, became the heartbeat of his work. From North by Northwest to The Wrong Man, he explored the nightmare of the innocent individual trapped in a web of circumstance. Technically, he was light years ahead of his time. He gave us the dolly zoom in Vertigo to simulate acrophobia. He broke every rule in the book with Psycho, killing off his leading lady 40 minutes into the film and forever changing the way movies were structured. He shot Rope in what appeared to be one continuous take, decades before it became a digital trend. He was a pioneer of pure cinema, the idea that a story should be told through pictures and editing, not just dialogue. In his final years, Hitchcock became a caricature of himself, a prisoner of the very fame he had built. He was a man who lived a quiet, almost boring life in suburban Los Angeles. Yet his mind was a playground of murder and madness. He was a man who couldn't stand the sight of a drop of blood in real life, but who spent decades perfecting the art of the cinematic kill. Alfred Hitchcock proved that our fears are universal. He showed us that the most dangerous place in the world isn't a dark alley, but our own shower, our own backyard, or our own mind. He left us with a body of work that remains the blueprint for every thriller ever made. He taught us how to watch, how to hide, and how to scream. And as the lights go down and that iconic silhouette appears on the screen, we realize that even though the master is gone, the suspense he created will never truly end.